Alright, we're reading another chapter of My Hero Academia 261. Slowly but surely getting our way caught up. On the cover page, it's our beloved bunny girl. This chapter called High Ends, and just as I hoped, we're not cutting away from anything. She is just going to continue her rampage through the good doctor's lab. Oh, Johnny! No! Not Johnny! He's the only way he can warp out of there. He's the warp quirk one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, so it looks like there's going to be a big substantial victory for the heroes. At first I thought it was going to be the heroes were massively underprepared. Something terrible happens and it leads to the scenario that I was talking about before, that the kids have to somehow save the day. But first, at least, they're going to do all of this. There's no way the doctor's getting away now. It is quite endearing, though, isn't it? That when he thinks of his good boy Johnny, it's not, oh no, that's what I need to warp away. No, it was just that Johnny was a good friend. Your bottomless curiosity and pursuit of knowledge, always such a boon to me. At the bottom of my heart, thank you, my dear friend. So here he's thinking of All for One. So sentimentally, so nostalgically. And it's I don't know, like I don't know if we're just supposed to get some extreme cathartic pleasure from seeing his life work be so utterly smashed to smithereens. Or if this is setting up some sort of sympathy for this character. That somehow he's still noble in his pursuits. That it was so purely academic that he just wished to understand quirks and the mechanisms of quirks. But I don't see how they can go down that route. It's not that he was just some befuddled doctor who went along with this charismatic, powerful man's requests. He was like initiating a lot of this stuff. These were like his ideas. He was the one that has been guiding and coaching and doing some sort of like Mewtwo-esque upgrade to Tomura this entire time. Like, I don't know. It's an odd scene to include. I can only think that we're just supposed to be like, ha! So, yeah, ha! Oh my gosh. Guys, I found the old fart and a bunch of tough-looking Nomu. They're probably like, is it the real doctor this time? Are you sure? But a good kick should tell me. Oh, she's so great. Caption. I wish we could say we're right behind you, but... So this is the corpse of the big whale Nomu. Looks like it's been lightly smoked, or perhaps extremely charred by Endeavor. But they're not yet in pursuit. Still something holds them up. It might take us a minute. Oh. Uh-oh. So there's tons of them. Hey, there's that lock guy that was part of the Yakuza battle crew. Cool to see him again. I was looking for him in the those big panels showing all the pro heroes assembling, but I didn't notice him. Maybe he was there, but I didn't notice him. Anyways, so it looks like, yeah, the doubling quirk is super in effect. Tons and tons of these Nomu. Just popping out of everywhere. Hospital evacuated. Just got the last patient out. Okay, now Endeavor just nukes everything. For the details. So these guys in hot pursuit, while the other heroes take care of the Nomus. Each of these small rooms is a storage chamber. Passageway must lead up and out, so the morgue isn't their only route. Bunch more Nomu appear. Hordes of them. Forgive me, pitiable foot soldiers, but I must defeat them. I must apprehend the root of evil that lies ahead. Don't worry. That's getting kicked. That's already getting kicked. Let's fight. Oh, his goggles filling up with tears. Yeesh. Oh man. I don't know. They're laying into the patheticness of this character so much that I feel at least some readers are gonna end up being like, oh, poor old doctor. He did a lot of good for the world. I don't know. It's like interesting. Typically, in this point, you double down on like the despicableness of the villain. That he starts trying to sacrifice everything to save himself. Starts throwing people under the bus. Starts reviving more and more Nomu foot soldiers that are in like no condition to fight. They're even more pathetic than him, just to serve as flesh shields to buy him a bit more time. You know, that kind of rhetoric. But instead, he just cries. He just doesn't want to get hurt. I don't know. Right? The high-end Nomu, like the one Dabi used, possible. Other little ones haven't even reached the testing phase. See, this is what I'm saying. He's unwilling to do that sort of stuff. He's just gonna kind of accept his fate, I think. Manufacturing more with it all for one round is no small feat. Took 10 hours to stabilize once activated. But just the way that he like humanizes them and he like loves them. He's cheering for Hood-chan to start working. Strong enough in a pinch like this. But Mocha. So this was the other one he was wandering around with. Manages to intercept the kick. Starts forming its body into another version of the Doctor. And here the Nomu is acting out of what seems to be its own free will. Because it wasn't given like an order to do this. The Doctor's being surprised is proof enough of that. It's acting out of genuine love for the Doctor? This is so strange. I never I thought the whole idea of the Nomu, I talked about this before, is that it just made a good enemy, right? And then there was these kind of like later lore implications that we could build on top of the Nomu. But it was never going in the direction of like humanizing them, making them sympathetic. They still had their primary function as just good enemy, simple to beat up without worrying about, you know, getting stained and suddenly creating a martyr. But now, I don't know, you feel a little bad for Mocha, right? Am I crazy? I feel a little bad for Mocha. Mocha and Johnny. Ah, so this is the one that has the double quirk. I see. Making the other Doctor. Right. A true miracle. Using your quirk without even being told to. You did it to protect me. This is what I'm saying. It's like, what are we supposed to think of this? Not just in terms of the lore implications, which are, you know, kind of complex, multifaceted, but in terms of the how we're supposed to like feel about these characters, how we're supposed to feel about people kicking in the skulls of Nomu, kicking in their brains over and over again. Courage wasn't for nothing. Uh-oh. Slaughter those meddlesome heroes, my precious high ends. Oh, that's what the chapter refers to, the high-end Nomus. So, the one that we saw before fought Endeavor to a standstill, and now there's 2, even 3, unclear, looks like 3, all battling against this one poor bunny girl. Oh man. I guess she already had a good moment of heroics, but I hope she doesn't get jobbed here, you know. I hope she puts up a good fight. I don't like her character being kind of underwhelming. When it's introduced to that kind of, how do I describe it? Like an insider route? You know what I was talking about with, like, we saw her in the hero rankings, and then we didn't see her for a long time, and then it was just up to us nerds to remember, oh, hey, she's supposed to be really strong. That loses some of its hypeness if she just loses. And it looks like already she just kicked one of their faces in half, so maybe I have nothing to worry about. But yeah, the Doctor might get away. Uh-oh, they're regenerating already. Hero. It's been so long. Can go wild. Kill them all. Let's go nuts. This one with the Evangelion-esque cranial plating to cover up the exposed brain. Seems like a smart design. I don't think having the brain out was like a good choice. So it looks like there's 5 of them, and they're probably going to serve as our kind of interim villains for this section of the arc. All of the heroes in the hospital teaming up to battle them. The doctor is somehow in the chaos, probably escaping. It would be maybe too much of a victory, but they already did shut down his lab. So this means that there's like now a constant amount of Nomus. There's not more just kind of being created endlessly behind the scenes. So again, it's like, I feel like if this arc plays out to its fullest, I mentioned this before, but unless like there's some major deviation from what it's shaping up to be right now, which is like pretty much every known villain and every known hero fighting each other, what more could there be? It seems like they're kind of preparing for this endgame by having things like the lab producing Nomus getting kicked and blown up. Mirko. Not sure about your rank, but I know your crust. Talking Nomu. Yes, that's what they do now. Sorry I couldn't give you enough time. I'll leave this to you, my highness. Look at this. This is still like apologies and stuff. That's so interesting. He's being so considerate of these corpse freaks. But Bunny Girl's not down for the count yet. Hell yeah. I love how hype this is, that it's her and this guy from the Pussycats or whatever they're called, whose name eludes me. It must be some species of cat, because like ragdoll and stuff, those are species of cats. Anyways, these two are going to be like the vanguard. These two are going to be the first major fight, teaming up, really showing the extent of their powers and stuff against the Nomu. And then we'll get kind of more familiar characters later, but even then it's not like super familiar characters. This is, I think, a good showing of the strength of a shonen series, is when you can have such minor characters and they've been defined enough that you have like some kind of expectation for how the battle might play out. But it's still so hyped because they're still so unknown. And yet like you're confident in those characters. You're confident that it will be like worth seeing them in action. You know? I don't know. It's like pretty basic, but it's a good sign. It's a good sign when I'm like, damn, I'm hyped for this fight, and none of these characters are like top 10 most popular. It's cool. Okay, that's all for now. We will read chapter 262 soon, and then after that we'll get caught up with chapter 263. So please enjoy the next few days. Bye-bye.